Hey, what's up, guys and gals? Chris Williams here again, talking about the efficiencies you can bring to your entrepreneurial venture. So, I run an agency, about half of it's creative, half of it's more operational, financial, HR side. So, this is a process that we take our clients through when we're helping them see how to deal with their processes, their people, and their profits. This answers a lot of questions that you guys are asking, so I figured I'd just show you this. So, if you didn't see yesterday's video, jump back into yesterday. We talked about processes pretty deep. And then today we'll talk a lot more about the people side of things. So let's jump into people right now. So you want to have the right people on the bus in the right seats. So who was it? It was the guy who wrote Good to Great, I think. What's that guy's name? Anyway, he used this analogy of the right people on the right seats in the bus. So you want to have a bus, a school bus, let's say, and you want to have the right folks on that bus because, you know, the dynamic of the people in your office can get kind of messed up if you got the wrong people in the bus. If there's somebody in there who's just stirring up a lot of trouble or causing a lot of angst, that can be a big deal. And you want to make sure you've got the right people on the bus and then in the right seats. So you also want to make sure that if you've got people in the right seats or on the wrong seats in the bus, that could be a big deal. So you might have wonderful people on the bus that get along really well, but if the driver's not in the driver's seat and the person who's really good at a certain role is not in their seat, and so who's good at a completely different role, marketing or finance or HR or whatever it is, are not in their seats, then you got problems, right? You also want to think about who's sitting next to each other. So you might have some great people who are on the bus together, and you might have the marketing people with the marketing people. But as you organize those teams and who's so-and-so's boss and who's working with somebody else, you want to make sure that you're actually putting the right personalities and the right connections together. It's a lot like hosting a great dinner party. You want to make sure you're inviting the right people. They're going to get along together and have good conversation, have commonality. That's a really important thing. So, right people on the bus in the right seats. Excuse me. Out here sitting on the porch today, it's such an amazing day in Memphis. We're about to travel again, but I think it's so worth sitting outside when you can. It just frees my head up. So Blue barks, sorry, he's getting a little noisy. Let's jump into these bullet points here. Well-adjusted people. So you need to have well-adjusted people. The right people are well-adjusted people. Now, none of us are perfect, and not all of us have perfect days, perfect work days, or perfect at-home days. But you want to make sure that folks on the bus, the people you're putting in your team, are well-adjusted. That means both internally capable of doing the job, so the role you have for them. You want to make sure that they're actually capable internally of doing that job. They have the capacity as a human. Their innate skill set or their learnable skill set is in line with what you want them to do. For instance, if someone, we work for a lot of surgeons, if someone asked me to be a surgeon, that's not what I'm internally capable of doing. You know, my kids fall off their bike and I have that feeling. I can actually feel my heart like, oh, I can like feel almost like chest pain when I see my kids scrape their knee. I'm not fainting when I see blood, but I'm totally not a guy who's like, oh, cool, let's take this animal apart. I want to dissect animals in biology. That's not me. I'm not capable of being a surgeon. So you need to have somebody who's internally capable of doing the job that you need them to do. What's going on in their head, in their heart, inside them that makes them able to do it. Externally focused. You want to make sure that the work that they're doing is not being hindered by something going on externally, like their home life or their professional life or the person sitting across the cubicle from them, or are they worried about money constantly? Are they worried about their car breaking down to get to work? There's a lot of stuff that goes on all of our lives, and we can't control all that, and we shouldn't be necessarily judged negatively for that, but you do want to make sure you're helping your staff get in a place, get paid enough, have enough time to get to work, that they're in a spot where you know you can hire them. They're going to be reliable both internally and externally based on their life circumstances. If they're constantly late because they constantly don't have a car that works, that's your call what you do from an employment standpoint. But if I had somebody I knew who was not going to be able to get to work regularly because of their car situation, I would probably look for someone else to hire. I've been in that spot where I've had a bad car and not able to do things, but I had to get my job done, and you have to hire someone who can actually show up and fulfill the work, right? That's pretty straightforward stuff from a hiring standpoint. So again, not judging in a negative way someone's externally focused or unfocused issues, but you got to make sure that they're in a place in their life where they can meet you and your business in a place that you're in and get the work done, right? Okay, Next bullet point. Are they well equipped? So is the person that you're hiring, or the person who's on the bus, so to speak, in your team, are they well equipped? Have you provided them with the equipment, the tools, the time, and the environment that they need to get this job done? So the tools might be physical hand-working tools if you're in a hand-working business. In my line of work, it's a lot of technology. Do my people actually have the technology, the systems, the online systems, the software systems, the computers, the phones, the headphones, whatever it is that we need? Do we have the stuff that we need to get our job done? Do we have the time? Am I giving my employees too much to do, where they don't have the time to actually accomplish the goals that we have for them? They might have tasks and projects, but if they don't have the time, or if they're overloaded with too many job responsibilities, wearing too many hats. I see that a lot with other entrepreneurs. They have a key person, and they end up piling more and more and more on that key person. They're wearing so many hats, they're really ineffective at all the hats, and they should spend some of those off, spend a little extra money, and they probably make a ton more money as an entrepreneur by just separating it out and let that person breathe a little bit. And then, have you given them an environment that's, say it this way, an environment conducive to productivity? A boss I used to work for used to have signs like that around the office. This guy actually taught me to sell, named Jim Shoemaker. Great sales guy in the financial industry when I was just out of college. And he had signs all over the place, creating an environment conducive to productivity. So is there a lot of drama going on? Is the lighting good? Are people bringing home stuff, like their home drama, to work and talking about it constantly and not letting people get their stuff done? Just creating a place that work can happen, and in a great fun environment, just making sure it gets to happen, right? Next bullet point, are they well trained? Are your people well adjusted, well equipped, and well trained? So if they're well adjusted and ready to do their work, and they're also well equipped and have what they need to get the work done, the time and the environment done, then it comes down to, if something's not working, it's probably a training issue. And that falls back on the owner/manager, whoever's in charge of actually delivering training, being consistent, staying with it, and working those processes we talked about in the previous video, yesterday's video. So go back if you're questioning what that means. And are these people knowledgeable of the processes and chain of command you have in place? So the processes, again, we talked about it yesterday. Do they know the processes? Do they know the steps to take? Do they know how to do the work? And are they aware of the chain of command? So everybody has glitches in their work. We all get stuck at times. And do they know who to go talk to? How do they instantly jump out of, oh, I got a problem with the process, I don't want to waste too much time being stuck. Who do I go to ask for help? Who do I go to when I have a problem? Who do I go to if my environment is not conducive to productivity? Who do I go if somebody's dramatic on my team and they're bringing too much in? Who do I go to for that? Who do I go to if I'm feeling like I'm externally unfocused and I had to deal with some personal stuff? How do I get space up? Who do I go to? They need to know the chain of command. So that is a really simple breakdown of well-adjusted, well-equipped, and well-trained people, and what that means and what it looks like in some practical value of hopefully how you can start implementing that on your team as an entrepreneur, as a manager, whatever you are. Again, most of my work as an agency owner, a consulting agency and a creative agency owner, used to be a financial agency owner. I've owned a lot of agencies. Love that model of business. I use this constantly, and we use this same model with the surgery practices and other entrepreneurial healthcare-oriented businesses that we manage and operate for our clients. So that is that. Hope that helps. Tomorrow we will get into talking about profits and how that works. But for now, that's it for today. Enjoy your day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. See ya. Bye.